Hello, namaste, and welcome in the series of cybersecurity. This side is Meena, and today I'm going to discuss about what is network security. When we talk about network security, we need to take care lot many things. Okay? Our devices, which port services are open, applications, who is accessing it, okay? What methods we are using to access it. Lot many things we need to consider when we are saying network security. First of all, we need to understand the basic principle. Okay, whatever the devices, resources, services we are using, there are basically three things we want to achieve. This is the prime objective of any kind of security. First of all, the confidentiality means who are authorized, only that person, process, services, applications are able to access it only. In case if anybody will get it or will have access on it, they will not be read it. Next is integrity. We want to achieve the integrity means who is changing, what they are changing, we come to know about it. There is some change has been made in the data, in the security systems, or whatsoever the resources we are having, we just come to know. Otherwise, if we don't know that change has been made, we are not able to achieve the security. Understand? Another thing is availability. Whenever we want to access it, it must be available. And how that could be? Three things could be possible when we need, when we put lot of security features, security considerations in the big picture, from the designing point of view till the user. We need to include all these things into our security consideration. What components that lies, like say hardware, what hardware we are going to use, whether that's good enough to perform whatsoever the request they are receiving, okay, whether that's having right kind of firmware, okay, what load it can handle, each and everything must be considered. Another thing is software, whatsoever the software are running on it, applications are running on it, whether those are patched properly, updated, okay, and any kind of vulnerability if exist, remove it. Another is cloud security, because nowadays we are using cloud and we need to access our data from the cloud, we are storing our data from the clouds. Then how we are accessing, who is accessing, where is accessing, at what time they are accessing, what right they are need to have, each and everything need to be considered. Okay, and we must follow the zero trust framework, means only who need to access it, very limitation, very limited right on the specific resource, not to trust anybody, whether that's from inside or outside. It doesn't matter from outside traffic is coming or the hackers is just sitting outside. No, it can be he or she can be in the inside of your network. So no trust to anybody who is able to access it. They need to provide their credential, right, or proper proof, yes, they are the legitimate user with the right uh, proper user rights to have access on the services or the resource. Let's see this picture, it's just clearing it very well. We have the data, okay, so this is the heart of uh, particular picture, means we need to provide security to it. So where our data stored, we need to uh, make inventory of it, on which system it is, who is accessing it, what rights we need to give. Clear? Or next level of the security what we can provide, whether it is accessible on our devices, or whether we need to access from other devices, or the other user are accessing it, it must be encrypted. Encryption at the rest of the data, encryption at the motion when it is just moving, okay, and when encrypted at processing when the in use, that must be encrypted. Another thing is secure OS, because this data is lies on the OS. Yeah, it must be patched, properly configured. But so need to have access just only limited services, softwares, applications should run on it. No extra, not even a single extra things you are going to run on your devices, because one vulnerability can be a big damage to the organization. Understand? Another thing is micro segmentation. When we are having different networks, okay, they need to communicate with the other part of the network, very tight security between, okay, proper configured access policies, group policies for that, who is having access to it. They need to provide for them, say, dual or multiple authentication to have access on. Okay, only the services which you need to have access, just only give just run all the services. If the port which are not used, or which you are not going to use to have access, just block those ports. Otherwise a single port will be a open entry for hackers. Understand? Another is when we are saying a reference architecture, when we are just designing each and everything, which devices we are going to use to provide the network security or the host security, which things we need to configure on our routers, switches. We cannot like putting some firewalls at the periphery of the network and it's enough. No, our routers, switches must be secure. Secure configuration on that one. So at architecture level, we must be considered the security. Another is threat management. We must understand, yes, this is the threat nowadays, whether our policies, our softwares, services are enough to secure against those attacks. What are the new threats are emerging? What's the steps we need to take, or what things we need to include or exclude here? So the proper threat management system at their place, then we would be able to secure our networks. Lot many things considered in the network security, and we must take care of all. Understand? So follow me on the cybersecurity prism and get the notification for the next interesting and informative session. Also share that session with friends, group members, so that they can understand what are the different components in network security and what the things they need to include into it. Okay, and what they need to learn. Different opportunities, different things, different opportunity for you and for your friends. Okay, and in the next session I'm just going to discuss about what is the difference between network monitoring and network security monitoring. See you in the next session. Namaste.